Bike of the Year 2018 testing is now complete, and this is one of our runners-up in the over £2,000 category. It's Cérvelo's brand new R3 disc. For Cérvelo, the original R3 was a massive success story. It won Paris-Roubaix, it's won the Tour de France, it was their go-to pro-level bike. But then along came the R5, which was a much lighter proposition. The R3 kind of is still a pro-level frame set, it's definitely a pro-level chassis, but it just tended to get used by privateers or the domestiques on a team rather than the superstars. But that's all changed for 2018 and this brand new R3. Now, whereas the R5 has got even more aggressive than it used to be, it's a little bit more slammed at the front, so it's got a lower stack, a longer reach. With the R3, they've actually gone the other way. They've made it slightly taller and they've actually reduced that reach a little bit. They're aiming this more at the endurance market. But when you look at its rivals, say Cannondale's new Synapse, Specialized Roubaix, the R3 is still a little bit more aggressive than that. It's got a slightly lower stack, it's got a slightly longer reach. So this is more a kind of racing sportive bike, as it were. And they have done a tremendous amount of work on this new frame. Compared to the old R3, they've dropped 150 grams out of the frame, so now it's down to 890 grams. The fork has actually gained a little bit of weight because it's gone flat mount disc instead of the old rim brake version, but it's still a fork that's only just over 300 grams. So you get a really, really light chassis. In fact, that's the real key thing about this model. The frame set is fabulous, it's brilliant, it handles absolutely wonderfully, and it's a real premium product. Now, Cérvelo as a brand has always been synonymous with two things, that's lightweight and its aerodynamics. And while the R-Series bikes don't really concern themselves with aero, what they have actually done with the R3 and the new R5 is the development of the Squoval tubing. That's their original kind of squared off but ovalized tube shapes. For the R3, they've now moved over to something they're calling Squoval Max, and they actually claim that it has a big aerodynamic advantage over the old tubes. It just makes the bike a little bit more slippery everywhere. They're very small gains. It's not like you're riding an S5 and going to be knocking 20-30 seconds over 40k or whatever. But it's good to know that they're even considering aerodynamics on a bike that isn't really an aero bike in any way, shape or form. So it's not just the big picture on the R3's frame set where they've actually refined and changed things. They've even looked at things like the through axles. What Cérvelo have done is taken Focus's RAT, which is their rapid through axle, which is super fast quick release. It's just a little quarter turn pull and it's out. Cérvelo took that open technology and they've refined it a little bit. That means they've reduced the actual size, so not only the quick release lever has got a little bit smaller, the anchor on the other side has been reduced, it just looks a lot cleaner. And one of the other really simple things they've done is actually heavily graphic the through axle itself. So when you're putting that through axle back in, it's just a case of aligning the graphic properly and then a quick quarter turn and it's locked down. Super fast, super efficient, really clean, well thought out. So obviously you can see we're really positive about the R3D. It handles beautifully, its comfort levels are fantastic, and it's just a wonderful place to be. If this was frame set of the year, we think the R3D would be it. But obviously that new development on the frame, the lightness of the frame, the sheer quality that's within, has actually kind of affected the overall package. So this bike isn't cheap, just a pound shy of £3,400. It is actually quite an expensive proposition. And yes, you are getting a hell of a lot of frame set for that, but it's elsewhere where things just seem to be compromised slightly too much for our liking. Up front, you know, we've got a really nice Cérvelo designed stem, which is lovely, but fitting into that stem is an FSA Energy aluminium bar. Now, it may not be FSA's base product, but it certainly isn't befitting of a bike at this price. When you're moving down towards the wheels, this has got a set of Mavic Axiom discs. It's a good wheel set, it's a decent wheel set, especially this new Axiom disc design where they've gone slightly wider on the rim, it suits the tyre better, but there's no getting around the fact that this is a very cheap entry-level disc wheel set. You'll find this on bikes half the price of the Cérvelo, so to sit on a bike this expensive is sort of detrimental to the potential that's in this frame. Where we do like the spec on the new Cérvelo R3D is that they've gone with complete full new Ultegra. It's in a really nice sporty configuration as well with a 5236 chain set and 1128 cassette. Gives you a really nice fast top end, but enough range to get up the most difficult climbs around. Also nice on this group set is they've opted for the brand new Ultegra IceTech rotors. We have seen quite a lot of the competition. This is where they'll downgrade. They'll opt for a cheaper standard, just plate steel rotor. But we do think the IceTech rotors are worth it. This new rotor is really nice, has a really nice feel. You can get loads and loads of control out of it. But most importantly to us, they don't really make any noise. They don't get screechy. They just tend to control their temperature much better, and it keeps the noise to a minimum, and that we like. Overall, the R3D is just one of those bikes you feel immediately at home on. Fast, it's smooth, it's comfortable, it's nimble, and it's exciting. We love that Cérvelo have opted for the full fat Ultegra Groupset. They've just got everything on there. It's just a shame that they've had to compromise elsewhere just to give us this brilliant frameset package and this great Groupset. So I guess in conclusion, we can't really recommend the R3D highly enough. You just need to be prepared to spend a bit of extra money to really exploit just how good this frameset is.